Good morning. So, I want to talk about decluttering and getting organized because when you have clutter in your life or when you are not organized, it has such a strong impact on your life. It has impact on your productivity. It has impact on how you feel. It has impact on how you feel about yourself. It has impact on the dynamics of the family or other people in your life or who you allow into your home. It has such a um, butterfly effect, right? I remember because it's something that I've always struggled with. I grew up in a home where it was very disorganized. We were a lot of siblings, and it seemed like there was always a mess and there was always clutter in the house. And I remember being embarrassed to bring people over, and I remember that that followed me through into my adulthood. Um, Say 15 years ago, when I had four children at home, and and my house always felt like there was a mess. It always felt like there was a disarray. And I remember when somebody was supposed to come over, I would spend hours straightening the house to make it presentable because somebody is coming over. So it had an impact on me and my own self-esteem and how I felt. Um, Today, even when I do have a mess, I still invite people over. I understand that this is a lot of people struggle with that, and also when you have a home that is lived in and you are busy and you are productive and you're doing things, a lot of times the home will um, fall into bouts of messy. So I want to speak a little bit about why, because this is why and practical ways uh, of of coping with it, or practical ways of getting organized, or understanding a lot of times the reasons why there is clutter. First of all, legitimizes it. You understand, and also the answer is a lot of times within the understanding of the why. When you understand the why, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, that's a little bit off. And those are places that once you understand them, you naturally start moving towards the solution of it, because when you realize something in your mind and it is conscious, it is out there for you to look at, then you don't want to behave in that way when you understand what is causing that behavior. So there's a few points. So the, and I actually have written them down, reasons why we have so much clutter. First of all, also I want to say that when we have clutter around us, it causes clutter in our mind because we are overstimulated. In the modern times, we have way more things, way more substance than we have ever had in history. Each person has a closet full of clothes that probably about 80% of those clothes we rarely ever wear, or a lot of those clothes we've been saving for years and years and years that don't even fit us, that maybe one day I will get back into this, or maybe I'll have somewhere to wear this to and then I'll need it. And the thing is, what I've noticed with myself is that when the time comes for me to go somewhere that I could actually wear that, I pull it out, I assess it, and I usually choose something else and put that right back in the closet. And so it's not a very practical way. And besides, something else that I've noticed, I've cleared out my home so many times. I've moved cross country so many times, and I've moved into other continents so many times, and I have left everything behind except for a few suitcases. And what I realize is that once you let it go, mostly it's gone from your life. It's gone from your consciousness. You don't even remember it. And if you do remember it, it the pain of having to hold on to so much stuff just because maybe I'll let it go and I'll be sorry is far greater than the sorry that you are of letting it go. So you pay a much higher price for holding on to all of the clutter and the crap than you would if you let it go, and even if you were sorry about one or two things that have disappeared from your life. And from the most part, from what I've realized is that when you let things go, it frees you. You have less that you have to be responsible for or think about. And also you have less in your immediate surroundings that is constantly pulling your eye, pulling your attention, especially nowadays because it's a consumer driven society. Everybody's trying to sell you something, trying to make money from you, sell you something. So everything is shiny, and everything is a lot of things are very cheaply made, but they're made in a way is shiny and to catch your attention. And as a creature of nature, the human nature is, we in nature 2,000 years ago, when we would go into the forest, uh, bright red was very rare to see, and bright red came to show you something about a plant or an animal, or you know it wasn't something that you would see all around you in your surroundings. So bright red, when you see it, it draws your attention. And now, because of the consumer mindset, there's so much that is bright red and turquoise and bright colors that are drawing your attention. And whether you know it or not, this is causing noise within your mind. So when your surroundings are cluttered, it is causing your mind to be cluttered. It is taking your focus and your attention, constant stimulation from your surroundings. It is taking you away from your life. It is bleeding your life from your focus and from your ability to put your attention on what really matters. And it's time consuming because you have to take care of all of this stuff. You have to fold all of the excessive clothes. You have to store them. If you want to move, you are less uh, light. So you're boggled down by all of this stuff, and it also weighs on you mentally because you have all of this stuff that you have to decipher through, and you keep on procrastinating around because you have emotional attachment. And so I'm going to get into the reasons, and I'm gonna try to do this very concise, because I think that anybody that is watching this will be able to recognize in their own mind what is relevant for them in their surroundings. So one tip is, what I've noticed is that whatever I start seeing a lot of around the house is what needs to be organized. So let's say now with in my home, it's me and my two boys and I are living now at home. And for some reason there are tons of clothes everywhere. The couch is full of clothes that need to be folded. There's clothes on the line. There's dirty clothes. In my room, just now I organized, half of the bed was full of clothes. And so if there is such a huge amount of clothes of textile around the house, that means that is something that could use organizing. Another thing with me is dishes. It seems like there are tons and tons of dishes that always need to be washed. I must have excessive amount of dishes. So your home will tell you what is excessive and what needs to be organized. Paperwork. I have tons of paperwork also that I need to go through and organize. I write a lot. So a lot of that I can put into the computer. I can even speech to text it into Google Docs and then organize it in there. And then it's really easy to find also what I want, because you can do searches on pages and it's not just in notepads. sitting here on the floor waiting for me. There's piles of notepads sitting here for me to go through them. And because I have that there constantly, it is a constant like nag. It's nagging at me. It's nagging at me. You have to do me. You have to take care of this. You have to take care of this. So even when I do sit, even to do a video or to do my work, in the background, right here at the back of my mind, because of the clutter, because there's a constant reminder, because I can't find things when I need them, it's time consuming, it's mind consuming, it's taking up value in my life. It is consuming my life. It is taking my life from me. And so when you are able to look at it this way and understand it in that way, then it becomes something that is detrimental. Because when you have clutter around you, you have clutter in your mind. When you have clutter in your mind, you have clutter around you. So if you want to clear the clutter out of your mind, you can easily clean your surroundings and even take a day. That's something with me also. Like, I don't want to take a day when I'm going to take a day off to clean the house. That's like a wasted day. But at the same time, when I really think about it, once I declutter and once I take care of what needs to be taken care of in my surroundings, then I am free to sit and put my focus on the things that I do want to accomplish. And also, what another thing that I've noticed is as I'm decluttering, things begin to get done. So as I'm decluttering the paperwork, I'll begin to be putting it into Google Docs. I will already have a portion of work that I want to do, right? I'll find things that, things that I wrote that, this was a subject that I wanted to write an article about. This is a subject or all sorts of things that will come up and they will stimulate me. And so I'm going to go over this list really quick because I have it written down. Things that cause us to clutter. First of all, it's a mindset. A lot of times many of us are just prone to that because we have so much going on in our minds and so many different interests, and we are always running after different interests. And with so many different interests, you also have so many different projects that you're working on, and so many different things in your home that are connected to different aspects of your life. So sentimental attachment, difficulty of letting go to items due to emotional value or memories that are associated with them. So there's a lot of things that we have around that are sentimental. That pretty much speaks for itself. So it's really kind of doing the looking at something and seeing why are we saving it. I'm not saying that we can't have sentimental value but to save sentimental things, but a lot of things that we're saving that are sentimental, there really is no point in saving. We have those memories regardless of whatever it is. Fear of scarcity. So this is a big one. Keeping items just in case they are needed in the future, because this is a fear of what I'm going to throw that away and then I may need it and then I'll have to buy it. And so it's like a fear of it's the scarcity mindset. It's lack. It's I need to save this because this has a value and someday I may need it. And so then you're ending up saving tons and tons and tons of things that you don't need. And something that I've noticed in my own life is that whenever I really need something for a project that I'm working on and I need this specific thing, first of all, a lot of times when you save a lot of things, you can't find whatever it is when you need it because you have piles of so much stuff. And secondly, when I really need something, when I'm doing a project and that project is important to me, I go out and buy exactly what I need for the specific project. And typically, the things that I need they cost cents, pennies. They're little things that paintbrushes or typically it's something that can be bought for very little money usually, and and I get precisely and exactly what I need for the project. Whereas if I'm just searching down things that I've saved, it's not an exact match. It's a kind of this may work. It's kind of like that scarcity mindset of setting goals at what you already have. It's that glass ceiling. So working with your lack, working within constraints rather than, oh, I want to accomplish this. What do I need to accomplish this? And look for what you really want, and then figure out a way to achieve it or to get it. But don't make your like lower your expectations according to what you already have, which is according to your lack. Overwhelm or procrastination, avoiding decisions about what to keep or discard due to the effort involved. So that's something that also hits all of us that have a lot of clutter is, how am I going to make a decision around this? Decision making is key, because when I go into organize, a lot of times the procrastination around it is, I have to make decisions. What do I throw? What do I keep? It's the decision process that slows us down. And then when I actually do it, when I get so fed up and I'm just like, okay, I'm doing this, the decision making goes really quick. I go tick, tick, tick. No sentence. It's almost like I suspend my emotions, almost like I suspend the emotional part of it, and I just make really quick decisions. Have I wear this? Have I worn this? Do I want this? When was the last time I wore? Is it really practical? Is it something that I would go out again and purchase? Would I purchase this if it was in a store? And if the answer is no, it's really easy. And also donating those items, or things that are still good. Or I typically, when I go through clothes or go through things, if there's something there that is good and that I think somebody else might want, I make a bag for this person, I make a bag for this person, I make a bag for this person. They can go through it and throw out whatever they don't want, or take it to the secondhand store. And then that really helps with the process. And a lot of times I just throw it away, because I see that I've made bags and they've sat in the entrance of my house for 2 months, which is still having that clutter within your home. The key is to get it out of your home, because otherwise it goes back into the circulation of your home. So overwhelm, procrastination, and avoiding making decisions is a lot of the reasons why we keep things. Attachment for sentimental value, lack of organization. The less I have, the more organized I am. That is just a fact. The less I have, the more organized I am, and the more exact and precise the things that I own, and the more value they have, because they didn't just fall into my home. I actually chose them, and they have a purpose, and there's a reason why they're there. And then I value them and take care of it more. When I have excess and too much stuff, it devalues the things that I do have, and the really good things that I have, the things that I do need and that I do use, kind of get lost in the mess. And a lot of times I can't find things that I do want and need. So lack of organization, not having designated places for belongings, leading to accumulation. Yes. Consumerism, um, acquiring things impulsively without a clear need. So when you go to the store and you see something you like and you don't really need it, but you like it, it strikes something, it gives you that instant gratification, which is a human attribute, and it serves us. The instant gratification leads us towards what we want, but with the overstimulation and consumerism that there is in the world today, it can be, if we don't take hold of it and control that impulse, it is what causes obesity. It is what causes over hoardism, that inability to control that urge of instant gratification. It's what causes also infidelity. It has a grand purpose when it is in tow and when you are the in ownership of it, and the when it is your servant and you are the master of that trait, it comes to serve you. But if that trait is calling the shots in your life, it is a complete disservice. It's like you like they like you say, your ego is a wonderful servant but a horrible boss. It's the same thing here. That impulsive purchasing, inability for delayed gratification, the instant gratification that you want, which a lot of times comes in place of that gratification that you get from the long haul. You know, the gratification that you get from a clear and clean space, that you feel light, and that gives you openness to work on whatever you want to work on, rather than something that is stuffy and piled, and it's like all of your chores are in front of you and all around you, and the overstimulation is like choking you, and then you don't have that inspiration and that light feeling that you need, that gives you that like fire under your butt to do creative things. So consumerism is one. And guilt, holding on to gifts or inherited items out of obligation, even if they aren't useful or wanted. So we don't owe anybody anything, and if there is guilt and holding on to it, you can offer it back to whoever it is that gave it to you if you see that it was valuable for them, or if it's inherited, you can offer it to your siblings or somebody else that might appreciate it. But you don't have to hold on to things just because they're inherited and you don't want them. um, guilt Guilt is a pass-through emotion. It's an emotion that comes to teach you something, and once you get the lesson, you don't need to hold on to it. If you are continuously holding on to guilt, it is a very low vibrational emotion, and you are also not getting the lesson. If you are sitting in guilt, it means that you're not taking you're not you're still in the mathematical the mathematical equation, and not getting to the what is after the equals sign. Because once you get to the after the equal sign, you can let go of the guilt, because you have learned and risen above whatever you're feeling guilty about. You can let it go. Time constraints, not taking the time to declutter regularly. Now, this falls also into something that I personally have that works, a mechanism that runs in my programming, my internal self programming, which is I work in projects. Like I am naturally a project manager, which means that if I see that I need to declutter the home, it won't be something that I do on the fly while let's say I'm doing dishes and there's dishes there that I don't need. It is not of my nature to take them out and put them straight in the garbage. I will still put them in the closet for the day that I do the big declutter project. So a lot of times the when I look around and I say, okay, I need to declutter, I see it in glumps of project, like this project and this project and this project. When you're looking at something as a big project, it becomes this massive, heavy thing it's going to be take up so much of your time and so much of your energy, and you're going to have to make all those decisions, and it keeps on getting, and right now I have to do this and I have to do this because I'm in my life. I have to make a living. I have to take care of my kids. I have to cook. I have to clean. I have all of my daily duties, all of the things, and then another day goes by and another day goes by. If we can see the decluttering as something that happens, uh, that we integrate into our lives and into our everyday, I'm folding clothes. There's clothes there that the kids don't need. There's something there that I don't want. Put it in a giveaway bag, throw it away. And don't fold it and put it back in the closet for more clutter. There's so many clothes that I see that get pulled out of the closet and they just get left out of the closet and they don't get worn. And this happens over and over and over again. So, and who needs, I see my kids, they have like 40 to 50 t-shirts. Who needs that many t-shirts? You're not going to wear all those t-shirts. What do you need all of that for? So, and then I'm also dependent on them to go through it. So, and literally it would take 10 minutes if I went and pulled that pile out of the closet, put it on the table, and with my son there said, this, yes, no, yes, no, help them with the decision making. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And so that is the time constraints. And I get it. I also have that. I mean, that's part of it. Identity and aspirations, keeping items tied to past identities or hobbies that we plan to pursue someday. So this is a big thing too. Holding on to things that represented who we once were, something that we always used to wear. It has sentiment. It connects to the sentimental value as well. And if we throw it away, we're throwing away a part of our history, a part of us. And but you can also see it as I've already, I've experienced that was a good time, and now I'm something new and I'm different, and change is always good. Change is what refreshes your life and puts you into a new era. And the plan of pursuing something one day as an artist, and I'm sure that as an artist, you see value in things. You see things in ways of shape, and a lot of the things that we save are a future project. We may need that for a project. I want to do an art project with this. Something that I've realized within myself that also might be helpful is that if I haven't used it yet for a project, let's say there are some things that I do save because they're super unique, super special, and I really do want to do something with them one day, and I hold on to them for art projects. But a lot of the things that we hold on to because one day we might want to do a project with them, if they never got the time of our life, they never got the focus of our life, because other things were more important, they were passed over again and again and again and again, then then they don't have that important value of actually getting space in your life. You're saving them for a project that probably will never come if it hasn't come so far. What I've realized is that I, as a creative person, I always have ideas. I always have ideas. At any given time, you can ask me. I have 10 different project ideas that that I'm working on, 3 or 4 at a time, or maybe 10 at a time. And then I have all of this list of other projects that I want to do when I get the time. But what I've noticed is that whatever is the most important always is what gets my focus. And that because I am creative, I am constantly getting new ideas, new ideas, new ideas, and wanting to do those new ideas because I get excited about them. And all of these things that are projects that are old projects, a lot of them, they fade away. And a lot of them I just close. And I say, okay, I know it's a good idea. I know it would be a really good project for somebody, but for me right now, I can't do it. It's just, a lot of times I give ideas to people. Hey, go do this, go do that. Go, you can do this, you can do that. Did you know that you could do this? Because it seems like I have a eternal fountain of ideas that come to me. I'm an idea person. I'm a project person. I'm a project manager by nature. And I can always count on that. So there's no reason that also comes and connects to the scarcity mode because uh, there will not be a time when I don't have new ideas and better ideas and good ideas that I'm going to have to say, oh no, I have no ideas. Let me go into my past. And, if they were that important, they would have gotten they would have gotten the limelight in my life. They would have gotten the focus that they needed in order to manifest. And because they didn't, there is no reason to hold on to these things. And it comes back to Well, if I really want to do a project, I go out and get, when I really want to do a project, I go out and buy the exact colors that I need. I go out and buy the exact little trinkets that I need for said project. And it seems like also with the universe, when I start doing a project, all of a sudden the things that I need start showing up in my life. They just show up. I'll be walking down the street and I'll find a little piece of something metal that is exactly what I needed. It's amazing. And so to hold on to clutter for that, it's just holding on to past projects that are weighing on you. Oh, this when you start letting go of projects that you're not gonna and trusting that if I want to do it, it'll come back into my consciousness. It'll come back up for reassessment. And therefore, I don't need to hold on to physical items that are constantly bringing me back to that point. That is the clutter in the mind. That is how it works. Um, so difficulty prioritizing. Yes, uncertain about what is truly essential and meaningful. That comes back to decision making. It comes back to what do I really need and what do I not need. And a lot of times we have to declutter. We have to start somewhere. And a lot of times we will throw out things that we need. But everything that is in the physical world is replaceable, and the only thing attached to that item is an emotion, and you can bypass that as well. You just see it as, okay, that was the price that I have to pay for this decluttering, and then you can let it go. And stuff, we're not taking stuff with us. It's all about our life experience. We're not taking anything with us. When we go back into the ground, we're going naked. So there is no, the only attachment to it is the attachment that we attach to it, the emotions that we give to it. So environmental factors, limited storage space, or ineffective storage systems. Yeah, when we have more stuff than we have space to put the stuff, then we start getting clutter. But that just means that you need less stuff if you have a smaller space. I've gone from a whole house to a few suitcases when I moved from Israel to the States. We went with two suitcases each. That was it. That was it. And it was like freeing. It was freeing. And everything that we needed, all of the furniture that we needed, everything that we needed showed up. It showed up. When you have patience and you believe it, things just show up in your life for you. So, some kind of practical decluttering strategies that I have written here is like starting small. Begin with a single drawer, a shelf. Just do something small. You're folding clothes, take out what you don't want. Just start really small, and don't be afraid to throw things away. Create like, donate things. Make a pile. Make a box. Put a box in the corner of your living room that is a donate box. And then start walking around the house and just look for things that you can donate and just throw them in that box. And it'll start being like, it starts becoming a game. It starts becoming, take that box, put it in your car. And then next time you drive by a secondhand store, just put it there. Or toss it. Yeah, once it's out of your home, you don't want to bring it back. Believe me, I know. Um, the one in, one out rule, which means that if you buy something new, make sure that you take something old out. It works, but it also causes more clutter in your mind, because every time you bring something in, you have to remember and you have to start saying, okay, what am I going to throw? And so it does work if you are already organized and you already have the amount of stuff that you need. So ask yourself, does this add value to my life? Would I buy it again? Just like I said, do one room or one closet at a time, or one, like I said, clothes, uh, eating utensils, toiletries, go through underwear bin, one thing at a time, one drawer at a time, one project at a time. Um, the there is this woman on, I think she's on Netflix, that I think she's Japanese, KonMari, and she's only things that spark joy. Keep only things that spark joy or things that have a very definite purpose and functional use in your house. And those things make sure that you have quality of. You don't need 10 can openers if you have one quality can opener. You don't need 10 um, I don't know, doohickey majugs if you have one that is quality that works every time. And when you have one, it has a place. And not only does it have a place, it has a value and you take care of it. When you have 10, a lot of times you can't even find one because you have so much in excess. Um, so you can also ask people if they want to help. I had a friend on Facebook that put up a going through all of her clothes party where she invited over whoever wants to come over. She had piles of clothes and help her go through the clothes and take whatever they want from whatever is. So if you have a lot of stuff, that is a good way to go about it. You know, things like kids' toys or things for baby stuff, that stuff, there is such an abundance in that stuff, that you don't need to save those for one day, maybe if. So those are things. Let me see if there's anything else here. So be honest, like avoid things like, I may need this someday. If you haven't needed it till now, you don't really need it. It's not going to be something that you're going to all of a sudden need. And just like I said, when you have something that you really do need, you go out and you buy it typically, or you find a friend who has one. But uh, just to save stuff, just to save it. Let me see if I wrote down anything else here. So the artist mindset is which I went through, what you see a lot of around the house, and that there's safety and stuff. A lot of times we feel secure. That's that lack, that scarcity mindset. When we have a lot of things, it adds to our personal value as well. Like we feel like safe that we have a lot of things. We feel security. We feel like we are in ownership. We have value when we value the stuff that we have. It kind of gives us a safety buffer mode. I know with hoarding, a lot of times having a complete hoard, it like encloses you, kind of, you feel safety, like you're in a cocoon almost. And it also allows you to keep people out, to keep people away. Um, and then you have your own little private junk what is it? Sanctuary. Um, and I'm saying this stuff with complete love because I'm speaking from a place of knowing. So I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.